Welcome back to another episode of the Weekly DLC. I'm one of your hosts, Crow, joined always by my co-host, Danny Vargas.
Boba.
And Danny Jang.
Molly.
And if you're not familiar with what we do, we come to you each and every week to podcasting services of your choice from tables of ours. Each of us are on a separate table today, and we talk about nerdy stuff.
We've been that way every week so far.
Sometimes you've been here, haven't you?
No.
No? Okay, I'm just fucking up.
It's been 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So he's changing it today.
But not
right
different
next to
table. Yeah, not different.
No, it's always a different
No, I'm
table.
saying he's changed, but it's still been the same table he's been on.
Gotcha. Yes.
I agree with you. Yeah, we talk about nerdy stuff. We each come up with a topic. We sit around tables, and we talk about those topics, usually comics, games, movies, pop culture, anything we can do during quarantine. And, this is episode 181.
Wolverine. Wolverine. Incredible Hulk 181. First appearance. Sorry.
We drop knowledge when you least expect it. We try to have fun. We hope you have fun. Episode 181. Thank you for joining us. If this is your first time, strap in. If this is not, you know what to expect.
Strap on.
Strap on. That's our catchphrase. Strap in or strap on. I told my friend, by the way, that we still say it. He's like, wow.
He's like, we haven't figured it out.
He's like, I didn't even expect you guys to keep doing it. I'm like, yeah. But yeah, guys, what have you been up to?
Finally played some Final Fantasy Remake.
You finished?
No.
Just played.
I just played. So I told you guys previously I'm gonna start trying to play games without worrying about trophies.
Yeah.
But I turned it on. I'm like, I'm already here. So I finished having to. There's a little girl that wants you to collect music that people kind of get excited with.
Yeah.
And I didn't have all the music, so I'm like, well, let's try to collect all the music. So I ended up getting the music, and then I beat during that all that I managed to do a mini quest that requires you to stagger, I think 200%, and that unlocked getting Leviathan. So then I unlocked that. I went to go do Leviathan took a shit ton of time.
I didn't even do that.
So yeah, it took me 4 tries, but the fight's really long. When my actual successful fight, I got him into second phase where he just floats around and tornadoes are happening, and it took forever. I was like, when am I supposed to attack him? So I'm just like lightning bolt, and then 10 hours later, lightning bolt, because they have to wait for your recharge, and I can't hit him to get it faster.
PK Thunder.
So finally I killed him.
Okay.
And then I finally did the underground sewers where you fight this little thing that supposedly steals a key, little stubby thing. Yeah. So I finished all that, got out of the sewers, and
Did you get turned into a frog?
I did multiple times.
That's very annoying.
I rarely use magic, and then one time I was like, hardest fireball I have, and literally all of them were together. It just killed them all. I was like, oh, okay, fire is their weakness. Go.
It took me until about maybe third to the last boss to realize I could be casting not just Fyra, but Firaga. And I was like, I have been fighting this so hard.
With just fire.
Just Fyra.
Blood level 1.
And then I started nuking with the fun, and I was abusing it. And then my guys are out of MP super quick, but it was they're doing some damage.
I'm on the road to doing 12 out of 12 max mana or max materia. So I'm 7 out of 12 right now.
Okay.
So, and then it's taking, the rest of it is insane. One of them acquires 300 or 3,000 to level up, and then from there it probably is going to triple, and from there it's probably going to quadruple. But so that one's taking forever, and so those ones permanently stay in their thing, and then whenever something maxes out like a fire or something like that, I'll switch it out to thunder or wind or whatever. I got pretty much all those maxed out.
I think the main thing that they take away, and if you go to New Game Plus, is you keep all that except you can't use
items,
healing items.
Yeah.
So you have
you can only use things during a battle, right? Or can you?
No. You can't. You can only use spells that heal or abilities that let you regain.
How do I get fucking mana back?
Abilities or items that regen it.
Anyways, so yeah, I did that.
Cool.
I had some things in my note here.
Ooh, notes.
So I have technically bought games. but but they're for future plays because they're not They're not. I rebought Final Fantasy 10.
Oh, there's
I bought
a sale,
the
right?
yeah. I
What's
bought the
this one?
combo Steam.
Okay.
I was originally gonna buy it on the Switch, but I don't know. I don't feel like I'm gonna play that one as well on the Switch.
Okay.
I feel like anything that's like 16-bit, I'd really enjoy on the Switch. But anything like that's like higher than that, I'd probably rather just play somewhere else. What else? There is the Kickstarter. The yeah, the
spiritual successor.
Euden Chronicles 100 Warriors or 100 Heroes came out on Monday, and I like so it's supposed to come out at 9, and so I'm over here refreshing Kickstarter, refresh, and it wouldn't pop up, and then like I was like, I'm gonna give it 10 minutes. So like I went, like I was working a little bit, and then I like refreshed it. It showed up. I clicked on it. This was not even like 5 minutes into the thing, and it was already at 300,000, and I was like, holy shit! And so I got the physical version, thinking I was gonna get the PlayStation, and then I realized like if it doesn't hit a goal, it is a PC version. I'm like, fuck, I don't even have a disc player on my new computer. But
Probably gonna be a download.
It hit 1 million already. It hit within 3 hours because Kickstarter was down. It hit its sub goal, and that same day it hit 1 million, and that's the goal for consoles. So it already hit consoles. But still, I mean, it's expected like 2021, so it's going to take a while. What else? There was a thing that I wrote down where, what is his name? Junji Ito? He was, so it was just it became huge news when I like first read it, so I just wrote it down on the thing, where he was supposedly in talks with Hideo for like a future game, but it was just a comment saying like, no, I've talked to him and it was game related. And so people went with that, and like you see all these articles, yeah. And so obviously with like the way Japanese culture is, like he actually went public and apologized for confusing people. And I'm like, that's insane, dude. He made one small comment that people just carried out of the way.
He's in Death Stranding. He plays one of the guys.
Yeah, that's what the article is about. And he's like, during that time we spoke about video game related stuff, and people are like, they're talking about games, but it was literally probably just about Death Stranding. But so I wrote that down at the time, and then like later on it got updated saying like he apologizes for confusing people. He just there's a small comment.
Have you seen his manga?
Yeah. I mean, the one is the specifically the one where the hole, where he's like, that's my hole, and then everyone's like attracted there.
God, man. That shit is. I want to buy it, but I don't think I could look at it for too long. Like,
so I follow like a lot of like on Instagram a lot of tattoo artists, and a lot of them do his artwork on as a tattoo. And it's insane. There's one where it has like it's a girl that like kind of splits into multiple faces. Oof. And it's crazy like how good that looks, dude. But really good stuff. What else did I do? Still been reading a shit ton of manga, dude. I just won't stop.
Wild Vargas.
Won't stop. So, there's a new anime that's originally a manga that I started watching. God of High School, which I didn't care for it. Because the name, I was like, this is like a high school thing, is stupid. As nothing, like, it's technically high school students, but they're joining like a tournament outside of like the high school kind of thing. So, and then it's so far it's really good. It has really good animation compared to what's kind of out now. And then it's like 3 or 4 episodes. I watched them and I was like, you know what? I'll try the manga just to see how far it goes. And I'm like halfway through out of the 400.
I read an article where the guys who make Attack on Titan, the anime, they're looking for the next Attack on Titan because it's about to end. So they're scrambling. They're like, we need to find the next manga that is as good as Attack on Titan.
There's a lot of anime or manga that like I didn't realize is already technically anime. Some of them get picked up super quick, like literally like it is exactly where the show has already ended. And normally manga is like way ahead of the game. Like this one, like dude, it's like 400 chapters long, which normally like an anime is like the first 24 pages of the anime. Like so, I was like, holy fuck, they have like 10 series on this shit already.
The way One Punch Man was made was hilarious. A webcomic.
I haven't read that, but I've added it on my thing or whatever.
So there's a real one, and then there's the webcomic one. So there's two different types.
Okay. Yeah, the webcomic. So that's kind of part of manga, but like webcomic has like a weird. You can tell the difference between a
Yes.
comic book and the web.
Webcomic is
Wait, are
drawn
you
by the
talking
guy.
about-
It's not good. It's not good.
For
Like,
you're talking about like webtoons,
So it's a mix. Like the place I go to has webtoons, manga.
but is that what you're referring to?
Manhwa? No. Well, God of High School is technically a webtoon.
Okay.
So yeah. But yeah, I mean, I just it's all manga to me. 'Cause
SpongeBob anime.
people will
That
probably.
shit is amazing. It is seriously 15 minutes. It made me believe that SpongeBob at one point has been a legitimate manga. Like, do you remember the Barnacle Boy episode where he eats the burger? He's like, no pickles.
Yeah,
They turned that into a little anime thing.
they did it with they did South Park. Like
Yeah.
there's a
It's
where
the
he does
same,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
the same
the
animation.
star, that
This one-
serious look.
It's so good. Like, they did this clip before that I think got a lot of steam where it was just an intro or an OVW.
Yeah.
And I think they ran with that and made an episode. Patrick is the funniest. He's like this season, like, you can't change SpongeBob's mind. It's all subbed, so it's like legit. If it looks like authentic anime, like it's perfect.
But other than that, what else did I do? Work is scrambling to get me back in the building. They were looking to change the policy, but California, they're not able to. So,
La da da da.
but I know the reason why they want me to move back in because they want me to like help out with like helping physically helping the customers that get there. Because there's a lot, like there's just a shit ton of people just walking into the building trying to get. Well, like they can't get in the building, but like they're worried about like, hey, I'm here for a pickup, and they're like, it's curbside only. You have to call it in. Oh, but I'm here right now. Yeah, so just call it. The phone's on the door. Just go ahead and call in. I'll have it ready. But I'm like right here, and it's just gonna be
Did you hear
ridiculous.
Black Friday? Like a lot of stores have been closing,
Good.
and they're like doing their sales starting from October online.
CPK announced bankruptcy.
Really? Dude, the movie theater industry is gonna be like,
They're still riding on the popcorn revenue. They're
Yeah.
like, we still got money. We still got money. Like,
but like I'm
Tenet-
imagining 2021 is gonna be like the amount of theaters around are gonna be fewer.
other countries are getting Tenet, and
So
America can't.
What I'm annoyed is that we're not getting it. We're getting it in select cities, and I feel like that's just gonna pack those
LA.
theaters. Oh no!
Well, that's the idea. Like they want to like
I know
sell
that's the
out
idea,
what's
but
open.
That's
Yeah,
not a good idea.
I know. But like.
It's like I'd be more okay with all theaters open and like 5 people.
That's how it's always been with smaller indie movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like
Packed them.
I'll try to find the only places are like specifically
Yeah.
here in the
Yeah, that one.
college area. Yeah, and then in LA what is it called
ArcLight.
Yeah, ArcLight. And so I usually go to ArcLight because I don't know. I kind of like the
vibe is
The vibe. But if ever I want to kind of chill, I go to this area. Yeah, and for all the indie movies. Yeah, but like it's always packed. Like I'll go and they're like, yeah, we got 2 seats and it's like in the fucking corner. I'm like, I'm gonna watch it. Like, yeah, I'll get it.
And then there was that Universal news that they backpedaled on, where they were like, "Universal, we're done with you." Now they're like, "We get it, but you can release it on video 2 weeks later."
What happened to the Dark Universe? La-di-da-di.
What's it called? That website happened. Limited run.
We didn't get the rights.
But that's it for me though. What'd you get?
Yeah,
Okay.
Jane, what are you up to?
I watched Spring Breakers. No, Palm Springs. The Groundhog's Day meets. I don't know.
Yeah,
Groundhog's
it's
Day.
repeating.
Yeah, it's a repeating.
Wow.
It's a time loop.
Spoilers. Thanks, dude.
The guy lives.
For another day.
You recommend it?
Yeah, it's cool. It's not Groundhog's Day cool, but I think you'd like it.
That's what everyone's been telling
No,
me.
because there's an Irvine reference. There's an Irvine reference.
Okay.
And then
Like, I told my girlfriend, I was like, "Oh, have you seen this movie Palm Springs?" And she's like, "No, why?" I'm like, "Jang mentioned it. I've been hearing people online mentioning it. I'm like, maybe you, because she's been running out of stuff to watch." And she watched. She's like, "I want you to watch it. I think you should watch it." And then, so
Irvine. There's an Irvine reference.
Okay.
And also, it's not spoilers. J.K. Simmons is in it.
Yeah, yeah.
And he fucking kills it. Like,
Okay.
He's so good.
He's a great actor.
He's fucking good, dude, in this fucking film.
Okay.
And I've been watching Atlanta.
Ooh.
I need to finish it.
How much more you got?
I got 2 more episodes. They're 30-minute. I didn't binge watch it. So they're 30-minute episodes. There's 10 of them. So it's 5 hours, I guess.
This is just one season, right? You're
Season 2. Yeah.
okay, so you're just catching up.
Catching up. 2 more episodes. And dude, that show is fucking amazing. Like,
So season 2 is still really good.
it's better than season 1.
That's crazy.
So much better.
There's so many things where like the first season's really good. Like we have Stranger Things. I feel like season 1, woo,
Did you guys even
masterpiece.
finish season 2?
Chef's Kiss. Season 1.
Mwah.
I would love if you guys rewatched it and be like, that didn't age well.
Probably if you go back. I normally don't rewatch things, and I've done it before. I'm like, whew, that's tough.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, shows don't do that.
yeah, or even movies, sequels. The quality.
But
is
games
just
get better.
What they did with season 2 with Atlanta is crazy. Is watching that show, I don't feel that characters are in danger. There are moments where we're like, fuck, this character's gonna fucking die, dude. Because it makes sense. He's a gangster rapper. So there are moments where he's put in very dangerous situations. And they don't do that in season 1. And I'm like, holy shit, I think he might die. Like, holy fuck. And I don't know, Donald Glover, Hiro Murai, dude. And Keith Stanfield, the guy that Get Out, the nosebleed dude, that guy, fucking hilarious, dude.
He's in that movie I told you guys about. Fuck, what was it called? There's something like it was the same time where Black Klansman came out. There's something wrong with you, or there's some. It was like another movie.
Nice
about,
stinks for, I don't know. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Thank you for your consideration. I don't
Yeah.
know. I
Yeah.
forgot. He's the main character in that, and he's great. Like that movie was great.
Dude, Atlanta blew him up. Fuck, man. Like, because of that, dude, he got all these, like, fucking good work. He kills it. And
Okay.
he plays a very weird guy, and he's like, you know, we're living in a simulation. He's like...
Marcus?
But I don't know. He plays a very quirky, like, weird dude, but he's funny.
Okay.
And, yeah, the Michael Jackson episode fucked me up, dude. That was pure horror. I was like, dude, this is a horror fucking film. And the way they framed it, even, like, I was looking at behind the scenes, they made him dress up like James Caan from Misery, Stephen King's Misery. They did it on purpose. I was like, wow, dude.
I
Just the
remember
thought.
on one of your streams you watched a clip of like, let's break that scene down or something. Anything else?
Last of Us, chipping away. Like, maybe 3 hours away, and the platinum is mine. It's mine.
Is this like another chapter or two that you need?
I'm pretty much, I mean, I could zip through it, but I'm like replaying it, watching every cutscene, like it's not skipping anything, fucking scrounging for everything.
Seeing what's her face? Allie? What was her
Abby.
name?
Abby.
Her scared face.
Oh,
being in the-
yeah, hell yeah, dude. Like,
Her eyes, she's like,
When
replaying.
Ellie is getting choked out, if you freeze frame, it's the most like.
the game. Oh my gosh, they did a good job with like all of the animation and stuff.
I think I've listened to about as many podcasts about Last of Us as I've played Last of Us.
26 hours worth.
There was one that was 6 hours long. And I listened to all of it. It was mostly negative.
It's those long car rides, huh?
Yeah. Well, I'll get into it. But did you do anything? Else?
Oh, Valorant fucking bought another skin because it looked cool. And it was a weapon that I use. I
was
like
like
the
$5?
Phantom. No, it was like 15 or 10.
Damn.
15, right? I think it was 15. Well, someone bought
For
the whole
individual-
set, so he doesn't know the individual price.
Who did this?
But so far I bought the battle pass, so it's $10, 15, 25, and then I bought the skin 45. I spent $45 on this game so
Damn.
far. And that Vandal skin, the dragon. I don't know how to use the Vandal, dude. Fuck. Why did I buy it? Like, I don't even use it anymore.
It's good. Just rebuy the.
But I bought the Oni skin because there's the Phantom was on it, and I was like,
Hey, you got some good kills with that one.
yeah. I do okay. I don't know. I'm not consistent. I think I'm silver.
It's the skin,
I'm not
bro.
bronze. I'm a real life silver player, but I can't get to silver. I just can't get to
And
silver.
then in reality, you're platinum, dude.
No.
I
Never.
bet you if you played like with all your friends like consistently, rather than just putting in random sessions in, you would have a better representation of the ring. Which is a shame because it's like I think people have criticized like when you go up against a stacked team, how it reflects that versus, and it's like they're considering doing group play competitive and solo play.
should.
And I'm like, I think that would be interesting. It feels more balanced. So cool. What are you gonna do after Last of Us?
Wolfenstein. I thought I was gonna do Uncharted, but I'm gonna go platinum Wolfenstein. I'm in the platinuming phase, dude.
I'm gonna believe whatever it is when you're actually done.
Actually,
It's gonna be Slay the
wait.
Spire.
He's choosing.
no, it's something else. It's not, it might be something else. I forgot. There's a game I wanted to buy. But
Carry on.
Doom.
one more thing, I've been buying a lot of fucking games, physical games that are
Limited
gonna.
run.
So the only reason I started doing this because Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is really expensive now. So I was like, fuck, I need to buy the games before they are expensive.
Now
and
you're
get sold
collecting
out.
games like you want.
Yeah, I'm fucking. So I bought
So you buy
Wonderful 101.
You buy multiple copies of these things.
I bought Catherine for Switch. I bought Zone of the Enders because we talked about it. Because that's going to be
Wait,
rare.
there's a physical copy?
PS4.
Oh, that's right. No, I think I own it.
That Metal Gear Solid with the reprint,
The Legacy or Ultra.
Dragon's Crown, and Odin Sphere. Those are going to be rare games. And I might pick up AI Somnium because it's an expensive game.
And Carry On.
It's going to be rare. And Carry On, yeah. And hopefully I get Cuphead for free.
Oh yeah, the platinum. This is gonna be easy.
That's the game, Cuphead, that I might play.
He's gonna play Cuphead instead of Wolfenstein.
Of course.
Immediate change.
And then Slay the Spire. Wait, is Slay the Spire on PS4?
Yes.
Have you platinumed it?
I don't have it for
It
PS4.
doesn't think it has.
Why don't you? So you're gonna get it?
No, because I haven't even unlocked everything on the PC version. Fuck, that shit takes forever, dude. Fuck that.
It does. You gotta do a couple playthroughs with each character.
Yeah, fuck that. Dude.
When's your birthday? He's like, this game again. Cool. Yeah, I was listening to all these podcasts because over the weekend, Pokemon Go, they have their annual Go Fest. And this year, because of all the stuff that's happening, they've been making it, instead of going to Chicago to participate in it and play in it at a park, they made it accessible to anyone that purchased a ticket wherever you're playing. So as long as you have this ticket, you can play. And it's literally from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday and Sunday this past weekend. So I played 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. I played hard.
I saw Ninja's wife. She's like, we're going to take a break from streaming. And it was Pokemon Go related.
Of course. I played hard because I was like, whenever I play these types of things, I also try to get stuff for not just for myself, but two of my friends that also play. I'm like, we're the only ones left that keep playing this game in our like social circle. So that was fun. But yeah, I was listening to literally. I saved some. It was like a 6-hour Last of Us podcast.
Yeah.
They had like these were the few ones that like the ones that I listened to were like Waypoint Vice, and it was the Split Screen Crew. They pointed out things that they enjoyed, but they did have lots of criticisms, and I was just trying to understand what their criticisms were and what like. Yeah, I was just trying to be like figure out what it was and why, and I thought they had good points for why they were, but I don't believe I disagree with a lot of them. I think a lot of it goes to like they don't feel like the rationale pans out, or like they feel like, and this is we've already kind of done a few spoilers for the game, but there's gonna be more spoilers right now for viewers. Ellie, the whole reveal that this whole time she knew, she had talked to Joel and they had said like, let's start healing again, but they never do. It was literally the night before. A lot of the criticism that these people were saying was like they made up, and I'm like, I don't think it's like you say you're gonna do it and it's that like I feel like it's a process and that you've started the first step in that process, and it's okay to still be angry like after that and feel like you were gypped because you were about to begin the healing, and they were like, no, they healed, they're done, and it was like I didn't see it that way. Like they were much more critical of that, or that she would like. They felt like the game creators were by making you press the buttons in certain points, that they were trying to make you feel bad, and they didn't like those aspects, or that the game was too long and all these things. I'm like, I guess for you and how like you have some of them were like their father, they're dealing with kids, they have other games, they don't want to play this game for that long. I'm like, Okay.
I think I know. Replaying it, there's one thing that I don't like.
What's that?
How big it is, because looting, I don't have the problem with looting, but since it's so big, looting is a chore.
Yeah.
It's a fucking chore.
Yeah, and that's what someone was saying, how nice the New Game Plus was, because they could
It's
be
still
like,
a chore.
well, no, what they were saying was like the custom difficulty. If you don't want looting to be a thing, they're like, make my resources scarce and like make the enemies a little bit easier, and like that, or however you want to balance it, and like
Right.
then you don't have to worry about it. And I'm like, maybe that should be available from the get-go, if and like something. But it was interesting. Anyway, so I did that. We're on season 3 of Book of Korra now, or Legend of Korra. So it's 3 of 4.
Yeah, there are 4 seasons.
And so this is one of my favorite seasons. When we started it, we watched like
Is this the Winds of Winter or Days of Summer?
this is Sharon Martin. We're coming for you.
Yeah,
I mean, 4 seasons.
we got him, boys.
I went back and I didn't like season 2 originally, and now I liked it more the second time. Season 2 is very in the spirit world, spiritual stuff, and I'm like, I like what Korra does differently, and there's criticism to it for being not as well loved as universally as Avatar, but I enjoy it. And Katie's been enjoying it. I played some Valorant.
We got him, boys. The monkey.
The monkey got me. I'm buying skins. I don't know why I'm buying.
Do you have the battle pass?
Yeah. I was like,
what level are you on the battle pass?
I'm behind you.
Oh,
I need to put
shit!
some
I
time.
haven't even played that much.
Dude, you're way. So I'm like, what if I just play Spike Rush? Will that get me?
When I saw the battle pass, I was like, Phantom Tron weapon. Okay, got it. That's it. I'm good. But then now we got the better
The
skin,
Oni. Yeah, that was a pretty cool.
Akuma skin.
I'm trying out some other classes, and I'm playing. I don't know, like playing with some randoms is just really annoying. There was a night Jang and I were playing, and this guy was just talking so much.
Oh
shit.
yeah, I remember.
And like my instant reaction is mute, and I'm like, well, now it's not like, where's the strategy? Like, I played another game where a guy was like, I don't care how I do, but at least I can give you comms, and he was amazing. I was like, he wasn't a great player, but he gave great comms,
Yeah.
and some people were like, oh shit, thank you, and I was like, oh, that's good.
Yeah, the worst was like, you have your ult. Oh yeah,
Reload.
He's
And I'm like,
he's in the back. What the fuck does that mean? He's in the back. Like,
they did it to you. They told you to reload, and you were like, what? And you
it got me
reloaded,
killed.
and then it got,
me killed because you can hear the sound of it. I'm like, I don't want to reload. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's close.
So playing that. What else? There's something else I'm doing. Oh, I'm about to have. I've been waiting. I haven't had boba in like over 10 years.
What?
So
Do you want to have a drink of the liquid itself and then boba?
just taking a sip. We'll see what happens.
You're gonna get boba. You're gonna get boba.
Gotta learn to suck right.
Control it.
Pro tip.
Haven't had balls in your mouth in 10 years.
It's not bad.
Exactly.
I didn't have any boba.
I know.
Why? Was there a specific reason?
I just never liked the bobas, and so I just stopped. I was like, I thought
The
titties?
No, the
Tapioca?
That's why you don't like
Tapioca?
full girl. Like
The texture, like
The texture, yeah, the texture.
I just when I'm drinking, I don't want all of a sudden like. That's my favorite.
Valorant.
Like every time I try to drink, I'm like, oh.
Phantom.
well, with boba, you have to learn how to not just swallow immediately.
Oh whoa.
Proper sucking. Yeah. I learned. I'm better now. I've overcome.
Spray.
Spray and pray.
No, how do you? What do you say when spray consistency? What is it? Fuck.
It is a spray and pray.
No, there's a spray control.
Oh yeah.
Valorant taught you.
I have been watching anime, but not like I would.
Korra.
It's
Baki.
It's etchy. It's just like fan service.
What's the?
High school D&D. DX.
Holy shit! That's.
That's just-
You watch it with Katie or?
no. She literally came over. She's like, "Is this the hentai?"
Dude,
And I'm like, "This is Thai food."
I
That's
saw,
what I haven't
I saw a
seen.
Twitter clip where it was that kind of thing, but
Oh,
it was like a
sniper.
sniper. Yeah.
That's actually.
No, that's tamer than this.
No, but isn't I think that's the
No,
same.
no. There's High School of the Dead and there's High School DxD.
Okay.
High School DxD is this 12-year-old kid who's horny as fuck meets this girl who turns out to be a demon, or
Yeah.
it's like a fallen demon, but like they're good. So they're like, we get shit from angels and we get shit from devils.
Yeah.
And her whole group club is just titties. And they're just like, oh, if you do this for me, I'll let you grab my boobs. And like she showers. And it's just, I'm like, this is on Hulu? What?
Now you know why I wanted
So
to get that
12-year-old
Hulu.
kid.
And there's a bunch more. There's like 20 other ones like this. And I'm like, Q.
So this is why we're not watching Palm
Add to
Springs.
Q. Add to Q. Add to Q.
Yeah, my friends and I are watching it, and they're like, what? They're telling me ones that they find, and they're like, oh, you should watch Palm Springs, but I'm like, I'll have to fit it in somewhere in this
Within DxD.
within this Thai food. There was another one we watched before. It was Monster Mus.
No, yeah. That one's way tamer. Because there's no actual nudity.
Yeah,
That
there
one-
is.
Oh, I didn't watch that one.
And it's like bordering on like, because they're like half.
There's
animal.
always two versions of a lot of these things. So there's always
not on Hulu.
Wait, so
there's always the
furries?
censored version and uncensored. So I guess a lot of it I've seen as a censored one.
Not on Hulu.
Because a lot of the ones I've seen wouldn't have.
full blown everything. That's what I'm
So-
used to. It's just censored.
So I'm gonna cancel my Disney Plus, but I think I'm gonna keep Hulu. Not for that reason.
Just write it down.
No, for real though.
DxD.
I want to watch Americans. So
Oh, okay. I heard it's good. So watch that, and I've been playing more Oberdin. I've just been like trying to figure out how to progress.
Did you like read up where you were at?
No, because anytime I try to look stuff up for it, they're like spoilers. It's straight up gonna spoil things. I don't know. This is where I'm at with it. The game is just finding bodies. The bodies let you use this device that like lets you go back to the moment of that person's death. When you do, you're examining the like that. You're logging who dies and how. I don't know who they are. I just see the face and I'm like, whoever this face is, this is how they die. But you're supposed to eventually be like, this person died this way in this scene. But when you go to some of them, there's another body and you can go even deeper. It's sort of got that Inception
Yeah.
thing to it. And I stopped playing a while ago, and I was like, I don't know what body I've checked, what I haven't. So I was just like, this is hopeless. And I found one that I'm like, okay, this led me to like 8 more new discoveries. And it's piecing together like this ship has been on a voyage, and like mutinies have happened, weird sea creatures have happened. I don't know the exact like, is it how fictional or science fictional
Yeah.
it's gonna go, but I heard it's a great like suspense, like mystery. So I'm like, I don't know what I'm solving. I'm just figuring out how this guy died, how that guy died. And I'm just like, you died this, and we'll see where it goes. And and it tells you, it's like, oh, I'm gonna try. I'm just like, I've read online where people are like, sometimes you're just gonna have to guess. And so I put a guy's name. I'm like, this guy, his voice, they do an audio clip. He sounded Irish. I'm like, okay, let me see the log. They said they show names and they show where they're from. You just don't have faces for the names. And there's 2 people that are Irish. I'm like, I'm just gonna pick one. And the game's like, you don't have enough info to decide that yet. So I'm like, okay, so the game is helping me,
Yeah.
telling me like I don't know. I'm like, then what the fuck? I don't know.
Can you technically put it on the wrong thing? Oh, okay.
As of right now, no. I don't know. Maybe later. Maybe if you have enough info and you pick something.
Yeah, if you have enough info, you can choose one of the two.
'Cause
Which
you
one of
can
them are wrong?
pick, like, I saw this guy die with a spear, and I picked how they died, and I picked something else, and it lets me do that. But when I pick the person and their identity, it doesn't let me. So I'm like, okay, we'll see. But yeah, I've been playing that. So, and then I think, oh, this is what I was gonna say. Last thing, sorry. So Divinity Original Sin 2, playing a fuck ton of it. My brother, my cousin, and I, we got to this fight where if we let it go more than like a turn or a couple of turns, the boss is already really hard and all his minions are hard. The boss evolves into a second form that's like ungodly for the level we're at. So we're like, we think instead of like coming back here, we're like, no, we can beat this. My brother can teleport. So the main group of enemies is over here. This guy like runs back and forth. We wait till he's like at a certain point where his teleport reaches him, and we're all over in this corner. he teleports him in the middle of us, and we just laser him, and he's dead before the rest of it. And we found out that when he dies, his team dies.
Oh, so you just won it.
We're like, got him.
So I think my character was like a stealth build character. There is a
Was
point.
it a rogue?
I don't remember going rogue class, but I had like capabilities to go invisible.
Okay.
And there is a point where, like, as a team, I went through this area where it has these things that can kill you if they see you. And so I literally broke that rogue off of the team, soloed it, like it wasn't even going out, it was going into an area. So I was going into what more than likely was a battle on my own with this one character. And I end up doing that. It's a shit ton of guys. It's like these guys that can summon things, do magic, and like they're in multiple areas, like up top, bottom. So I'm like, fuck it. So then I like use an ability that's like a backstab, like it appears behind someone, does a shit ton of damage, immediately kill one guy, and then I just let them go up the stairs and I kill them like one by one, and then like this giant worm creature comes out.
That's right before you leave the island.
Yeah, and it killed, like, it was fighting a bunch of guys, so I'm just like sitting in the back and like throwing things at everyone, and I end up winning with a single character.
Damn.
Yes.
That's impressive.
It was the funniest thing, dude. The worm killed everybody with like no health left, and I was just like whack, and it dies. And then there's like one guy far away who was like trying to hit everything from afar, and I just get up to that guy and just like kill him.
Yeah. There's so many cool moments like that, but my brother and my cousin are so bad. There's a status ability that's called Decay, and when you use a healing ability on someone who has that, it hurts them. And I'm like, you gotta know when someone has that, because they're always like trying to heal everyone, and they try to heal themselves, and they're about to die, and all of a sudden they're like on the verge of death, and I'm like, did you forget you had Decay again? He's like, fuck. So I love this. I've been loving this game. I found out a coworker's been playing this game that I play Pathfinders with, and we're both like, oh my god, we're comparing how we approach certain encounters and stuff. And then he's like, dude, we should play. We should get like two of our other friends to start playing with us. I was like, okay, he's on Xbox. You can't cross-play. So I was like, okay, I've been playing on PC. There's a Switch version, and there's Xbox and PlayStation. And the two of them have Xboxes. I'd have to get an Xbox. I'm like, fuck, okay, that's expensive. Yeah. PC, I have it. My friend could get it. My other friend could get it, but their computer can't run it.
Damn.
So I was like, okay, fuck, that doesn't work. We wanted to play four of us, and I guess on every version but the Switch, you can do split screen on one game and two other people can join, but the Switch version allows for no split screen. So in that version, only three of us could play it. And I was like, fuck. And even then we're like, okay, it could still work, but whatever. So then I was like, wait a second. I saw on Steam, there's a thing called Remote Play. I was like, let's try this. And so you can do split screen on Steam where my friend is at their place. They don't own the game.
Yeah.
They get a remote screen on their screen showing my game, and they're split screening with me. It's still 3-player because two of us, and then because they're the ones.
It's 2 on one computer, and then everyone else is playing off.
Well, we have 4 of us. We wanted to play 4 of us, but 2 of them were like, at least this compared to the Switch, we don't have to buy 2 copies. Like 2 people don't have to buy the game. Only one person does. And then they would just remote into mine.
So now you're playing 2 versions of this game.
It took a while to get it to work because when you do that, you can't use mouse and keyboard. Neither player can. Both players have to use controller. And I'm fine with that, but that means their controller has to connect to their computer, and then it has to connect to mine.
So there's a huge delay.
I've heard a lot of people say remote play. The biggest issue they run into is controller connectivity of both people, or however many people. Like Rocket League, people will be like, "Oh, I own the game. Play with me." And like their controller doesn't work. We just tried a bunch of random shit and it eventually worked. And I'm like, this took some fucking ingenuity to like figure out how to get this to work. And I'm honestly impressed that it's even a thing. To be able to like be like, I own this game, you guys join up on me and play. But anyway, we just got it working, and now we're like, okay, we just need to pick a time to play. And I'm like really curious how it's gonna pan out. So we'll see. Anyway, you guys want to get into topics?
Let's do it.
Okay.
So mine.
Pull up the clip.
So there's been a lot of controversy revolving Joe Rogan and his comments on video games. It's also like the most popular thing is it's a out of clip trending thing. But my basic question for my topic is, are video games worth it?
Can you give context to what he said?
Or a waste of time.
Or yeah, is are video games a waste of time? So in the context is, or the context of the out of context I don't know.
The clip was he was talking about.
He's talking about video games, and he's saying that he says video games are a huge waste of time. He's like he's like, I'm a huge fan of them, but he's like, you play them and you don't get anywhere. Like if I were to, he compares it to like someone learning judo or karate, essentially jujitsu. He's like, if they do that over time, he's like, they get better at it, and that physically makes them better. It makes them like mentally better or whatever. And then but with games, it's just like you're not getting anywhere. You're just playing games and it's a waste of time. I mean, and then later on he talks about how people can make money and all this stuff, but that clip that just got popular is he's saying video games are a waste of time. So my question is, are video games a waste of time in your guys' mind? Come on, get at me. Don't at me.
I think I don't care. I don't really care what people do for fun.
What Joe Rogan says
for fun. Like I mean, some of the snarky comments was, "Whoa, listening to a podcast for 3 hours is a waste of time." but like, whatever you do, you do you. People like to unwind different ways. Video games is one of them. Binge watching TV shows, watching a movie, reading a book. I mean, I don't think it's a waste of time.
I want to see that boba.
I know, you guys are waiting for it.
Yeah, I don't think it's a waste of time. But devil's advocate, I think some people
take it too far.
It does consume their life, and it's like everything's good in moderation.
Neat.
This is not just like video games, but like watching TV shows and
everything in moderation.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts, Crash?
I don't think it's a waste of time. I think it's very similar to what we've said of like, it is what you put into it. Like people can read for leisure, and it could just be like a way to pass time, like Jang is saying. But people could be reading or gaming to create a career out of it, or to meet people that they didn't think they'd meet before, or for various other reasons. Like I think it's like, what is your intent, and where are you going with it? Where are you coming from? How are you doing it? I think he's taking a very stereotypical look at it, of like that. I think a classic image is that World of Warcraft on South Park, just like a guy just like that's what I think he's pointing at.
Yeah,
and that's not everyone. Like, especially in today's world where most of the, like, if you just look at it from a sports standpoint, like most physical sports have been all but shut down for so long. And esports, everyone's just like out there working, so it's providing jobs, it's providing content, entertainment. Twitch has become a huge industry, just on games. And like you can take that idea further and just say like podcasting, music, whatever. Like, wait, all of a sudden music's a waste of time? Like, I don't know. Like, you could just, like, that's the kind of statement, the way it's clipped and the way it's being thrown, like what people are getting out of it. Like, I think Twitter is just like that hotbed for that kind of stuff, where they're like, take this one hot out of context take, and like annihilate it. And that's, I don't know, like that's like, like Jang said, like you can go devil's advocate and say like, okay, it is great, but let's not be naive and say that it's curing people of illness. It's like people waste away money, time, like people go into debt because of it. I've seen like those things where it's like kid uses grandma's entire savings for like their phone. It's like, or whatever, like various stuff like that. People drop out of school because they like are just addicted to stuff.
Yeah.
They alienate people because of that, like because it just lets them. So there's both sides.
Yeah,
and that's.
But it's also like, I don't know if he goes to explain it, but like, there's also been things where like it helps hand-eye coordination. It helps vision-wise. It can help you pinpoint things quicker.
Sure.
It's been used as training as well. But it is, again, it's in moderation. Like if you take it too far, it starts becoming something that can
But
hurt.
even not in moderation, like if you're a Dr. Lupo or you're a ninja or something, like you've now provided, you've now influenced, you've now made something like, oh, this is going to be taught in schools now as a curriculum. So it's like, what is thou someone who goes to college for e-sport or video game, doing it as a waste? Like, I don't know, like, but the other part of it, and I think this is, I'm curious what you guys think with your topic of Joe Rogan saying that, like, I think he doesn't. Some people say he's like how you're saying, he's like, oh, he's just an idiot saying some stuff. I think he knows when he says stuff like that, and he's like, if I say something that's controversial,
Yeah.
I don't care which way it goes, it's getting me news. Like, it's getting me attention, and more eyes on me means more people listening to my YouTube clips, to my whatever.
So he's just chatting.
I think he's playing the game.
There's a sports guy, Stephen A. Smith. He says some really hot takes, and people call him a clown, but hey, this clown's making money, dude. Like, and I think Joe Rogan does that a lot. Like the whole mask thing with Bill Burr, he's like, I'm not gonna wear a mask, and then like the next day he's like, man, he backpedaled. He's like, I was just making a joke, and people got all offended. It was a joke. And I was like, it didn't sound like
But
a
is he
joke.
was he wearing a mask though?
No. Maybe he was smoking a cigar.
But yeah, I think he's playing the game that is definitely out there, of like Twitter and clips, and that's what, when you're a person in the media world like that, anything can be clipped at any point.
Yeah.
And like, that blows my mind. Like, I could say a full sentence, and if I say the wrong few words together, that could be clipped into a certain phrase and then put out there, and it sounds like a completely different point. I'm like, whoa.
What blows my mind is he still plays Quake. Who plays Quake?
Quake, yeah, he was bashing the Doom guy. He's like, dude, you got to put like Quake multiplayer in your Doom game. I don't care. I was like,
does anyone ever even play that?
Don't they have like a new updated Quake or whatever?
Yeah, that's the one he was playing.
Okay.
And not many people, Champions, I think, is what it's called. But
Hey, gameplay's too fast though. But yeah, I mean,
it's funny because people last year your topic was like, it's being diagnosed as an illness.
Yeah.
And then quarantine happened. And well, then the other side is now COVID happened, and everyone's like, oh my God, thank God for video games.
You can't entertain yourself enough.
And I'm not gonna lie, like, tabletop gaming has been a great resource during all this because it allows for people to collaborate. It's a great co-op experience. And this Divinity game is like a prime example of that. It's like taking tabletop and streamlining a lot of the UI. Like, we don't have to, like, no one has to worry about a game master. Because I don't know how that works. Like, some people feel burdened. They're like, oh, I don't get to play with them. Or some people feel empowered because they're like, I can control a narrative.
Yeah, and at least the people that I know, like, they take it to the next level, dude.
Right.
They're constantly thinking about new
and there's
challenges.
amazing things they can do. You're right. But I think for an average player that wants to get into it, they're like, well, I just want to try it. I don't want to be trying it and taking the lead.
Yeah.
So that kind of game is great where it's like people just remote and play. And I'm like, this is letting me keep some sanity. Because I haven't, like, this is the closest I get to, like, socializing, and that stuff has been, like, a boon. And I'm like, is that a waste of time? You tell me.
I think Joe Rogan is I don't know if he realizes, I hope he realizes he's in a powerful position because people will take what he says to truth. And I think a lot of content creators with a lot of pull have to realize what they say. They got to be careful with what they say, dude.
What
like,
did Ninja say? I forgot. Like, if you're not...
The fuck you say to me, a little shit?
After that, about the winning?
Oh, it's just a game?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, like, it's so funny, like, because, like, he's made comments about sports, how, like, oh, you just take the ball to this spot, and then people, like, you know, get back at him with, like, yeah, you just aim the fucking, you know, this thing to this guy's body or whatever, and easy, you know, and then he goes back with, like, no, there's all these small little intricacies, like, you have to build these walls to protect yourself. It's like, it's the same.
Like, listen to yourself.
I know, like, you're talking about something that you know in and out, but, like, you can't just make the same assumption for something else. And here we are. It's just a funny thing to me.
I have a question.
Yes.
So let's say
No answer.
someone were like Joe Rogan's like, I'm gonna put a call out. Someone come talk to me on my show and counter me, like about that topic. Who would you guys nominate in like the known game world, game sphere, that you'd like to see discuss it with Joe Rogan for like however long his episode is?
Neil Druckmann. I feel like his game is very impactful.
That'd be cool.
Probably go with Shroud. I don't know. Shroud is very like, he's very calm, and like a lot of times like I surprisingly will go to. Well, I mean he's not on Mixer anymore, but I would have gone on Mixer and I would have just like left this stuff in the background, and I'll sometimes just all of a sudden I pay attention to what he's saying, and I'm like, man, he's like. It's a very like valid point. Like it's a good argument.
I know who. Trihex.
Oh, that's the best option. Right there.
Trihex.
They wouldn't even hit your
Maybe
mind.
Destiny. I don't know.
Not Amaranth? Alinity.
Joe Rogan would be like,
Hey, get the clip.
Have you ever
No,
Jimmy, can you get my glasses?
if it was Alinity,
roll the clip?
get the cats out of here.
Get the cat.
Okay, I'm gonna pick a few for different reasons. Ninja for like
The all-out battle.
best like clipping. Like people would be like, "Oh my god, they're just like going at it," or I don't know, crazy reactions. I think Triax's would be my favorite. Like I would genuinely want to see that because he's well spoken, loves just like anytime he does discussion stuff is good.
Yeah. Don't have a third one.
I got one. I got one that I think. Oh no! Oh fuck. Okay, I got two that I think would be a very like.
XQC.
Reggie.
Okay.
Reggie would be interesting, but I feel like it'd be very safe.
Yeah.
Greg Miller, I think, would be fun because I feel like he would
He has to dress up as Wonder Woman. Joe Rogan.
No,
The one at
Spider-Man.
the one at WonderCon, the fucking fully painted one, dude.
The reason I would say him, I just feel like they could have a conversation where he would ask Joe questions as well. It wouldn't be one way interview. It'd be like back and forth.
Why Quake?
Have you ever played Patapon?
He's like, you haven't? What here? Let me and just bust out his little PSP.
Yeah.
Let him play.
But yeah, Triax is probably my favorite.
That'd be good on.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much my topic. If you want.
So my topic. It was because of Soda Poppin's band. Because he was joking about his money and stuff. He honestly doesn't care about his money. So if the podcast ever made money, or you made money off streaming,
We've
or
been making money. How do you think I'm getting this camera?
how'd you get the boba?
How do you think I got those skids?
Content creation revenue. If you guys were to make money, would you guys be transparent with it? Because I know there are some streamers that are transparent with it, and most of them are not.
And to what level? Like, from what you know? Like, are they saying exact numbers?
Ice Poseidon will show his revenue screen for that month. He's like broken down. Like, I made this much this month. Some people will be vague about it. Like, oh, I got sponsored by a game company. I could buy a luxury car with it. I just had to play the game for 4 hours. And I could play.
I would be vague like that. I'd be like, I could afford this now because
And some
of,
people
like,
won't say it.
partnership. But I don't think I would ever say exact numbers. Like, there's no way, dude. Like, if I were to break, like, if I start getting like $100,000 for like like a sponsorship or something like that, or a partnership, I wouldn't say anything, because that, like, dude, that alone is more than some people would ever make in like a few years. You know, like there's no way I could just like say this number and like act like everything's normal. Like, I am now like very privileged to have made this much in literally just in one moment, you know? And like I think it's not that it's like a bad thing to mention it, but like I would think of other people like when I have this, and I wouldn't like flaunt it either, like, because Soda Poppin', I've never seen him actually talk about like the amount he makes, but he's talked about one time like people were like, you don't mow your own lawn, and he literally was like, look guys, I literally will make more in 1 hour then I have to pay this person to mow my lawn. He's like, I will lose money if I stop streaming, go mow my lawn, and then come back to stream. He's like, it's more worthwhile for me to continue to stream and pay this person a portion of what I'm making right now to do that job. And I was like, holy shit.
He kind of has a point. Time is money.
I know. I was like, but like that, like he brought it up in what I thought was a really good way, but I wouldn't have said it that way myself, you know. But I was like, holy fuck, it's true. Like he would lose money if he stopped streaming. Like he makes more money streaming even while he's paying someone to do something else for him. So that's why he has maids.
What's crazy is Pokimane, her team. She has a team, 10 people.
Oh shit! I didn't know.
I was like, what? Like, because Valkyrie was talking about it, and he's like, I only have one person, and he's like my manager, but like Pokimane, she has 10 people under her. I was like, what the?
And that's not even her bringing that up. That's Valkyrie bringing it up.
I think I would be very transparent if it were to be like we're working towards a goal to help something, like a charity or something. I'm not hiding how.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I've had
like
Dr. Lupa do that. Yeah.
Because that'd be a motivating milestone. Or I would say, and I think in tandem with that, I'd be like, okay, if we raise this much, then we're going to do this, like incentives or something. But I think when it comes to like what I'm doing in my personal life, like you're saying, like paying someone to mow your lawn or like buying something or traveling, I don't, like a lot of people just say the more you're making, the more you're doing. And there's an obvious correlation. But I know plenty of people that are like not making as much as many other people, and they're just better at saving.
Yeah.
And they're able to do a lot of great things. And it's like, you think they're like, man, you must be rolling. You got a high paying. Just like, no, they're just good with their money. And I think that would be a like, if people press it, I would just be pushing them. Like, I'm not like extravagant living or anything. I know how I'm handling this, and I encourage you to do that as well, and like emphasize that. I would kind of like not go into that.
I was in a similar boat. I never really talked about how much money I've made, but at minimum wage, I was traveling. I was going, to Europe. Yeah. I drove to Canada. I went to like China. I was doing all these things, but because I literally, like, I would use like the same 5 clothes. I wasn't buying clothes. I was just like, everything that I made, I knew like what I want to do is I want to travel.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't care about anything else. Like if my goal is to travel, everything I make, I want to save as much as I can to travel. And so people were like, they're like, how the fuck are you able to do this? And I'm like, I literally just save money, dude. I don't spend it on anything else. I don't splurge on anything. Like I'm just saving it to go to places. And then like the most recent one was Japan. I mean, I didn't end up going, but like I had set it up to where I was gonna go with a few people. We were everything was gonna be split up. And then when everyone kind of dropped out, I was like, I'm still gonna go on my own. And then I started doing like the itinerary. I was like, this is a lot. I'll go into debt. And like, I mean, I don't really want to do that for something like this. I'd rather have the money there. And so I canceled that trip.
It is like, I think that whole streamer thing, it's like there's an expectation to share everything, because a lot of times streamers they start and they stay largely in their like bedroom, office, home. So you're like already inviting people inside your life, and that line is blurred. And I think when you start getting to the points of like the ninjas and the shrouds of even like not to that accolade, but somewhere where it's like you can make a living as a streamer, people start expecting to know everything about you. And I think like the sooner you make sure you have certain lines,
those boundaries
and maintain them consistently, the sooner there won't be as much of that expectation of like.
Yeah, well, it's crazy.
And I think it can't be like individuals. It's gonna have to be like a trend of like, this is just how people are. But there's gonna be people that love talking about like, like that person's doing this. This is ridiculous. Like 10 people like this. It's there. Like it's juicy. Like people love that stuff. So there's always drama and things to get into.
It's crazy that like chat or people that watch someone will think they're entitled to like all this information. And it's like
because they paid a price.
Yeah. But it's like there's entertainment value in watching this person, and that's ultimately what it boils down to. Is this is an entertainer, and you're watching them, and you're paying them to continue to entertain.
But I think some people encourage that. Like some streamers are like, keep coming into my, like they want those people to like really give into that feeling.
Yeah.
And like when they go to the streams that don't have that, they're like, what the fuck?
They get really like, so they're streamers that take, I feel like they take like streaming, like it's there's different paths people take, but someone will take it very friendly, and they'll be like, whenever someone comes in, it's like literally like, hey this person, like it's very one-on-one, and then depending on the individual, they can take that as like, hey, this is my friend now, like we know each other, and they can take it to another level that generally like the streamer isn't like, that's not
Right.
where I was going with this. I just want you to feel comfortable when you're watching me, but like I don't even know you, like I don't necessarily know you.
I think another thing, it's just become a general general practice now. But like,
what do you mean use people?
Sponsorships.
Yeah.
People have to be very transparent about that, because then there's this false understanding of like, why does that person get all the good shit? And you're like, because they're sponsored, because they got this game provided to them by. I think that kind of transparency is good.
Or we
Because
make
then-
fake sponsorships. Supreme.
This episode's sponsored to
By
you.
Boba.
Supreme.
We all got
Right.
Boba this time.
Spray control. But I think that can be something that is a positive thing to be transparent about. Because if you're doing, people, then it just leads to this misunderstanding.
Yeah, I mean, we have like Mr. Beast. He's very transparent on the amount of money he makes on sponsorships, because he'll be like, the full amount I'm making of the sponsorship is literally part of the video. He's like, I'm giving out $500,000. That's a sponsorship for $500,000. Like, he's very open with that. But like, it's weird. Like, I guess there's certain ways to go about it, because with Mr. Beast, like, even though he's making that much money, he's giving all that away. I mean, there's obviously more money that he's making. Like, he's got to make a profit. So the video itself, he's keeping that money. People don't necessarily know how much he's making off of just YouTube itself. But no one really says like, oh, this guy's filthy rich, like, or this guy's keeping all his money.
I do think there's something to be said here. A lot of people are just like, you're thinking of just Twitch or YouTube. That's what we're talking about. I do see, and I appreciate this when I see a Patreon that I'm supporting, and it's like kind of funny. For example, they'll be like, this is what you guys have all pitched in. Like, we are now at this threshold. This is what we're using that money back into this, and like, we can pay for more people in our team. We can pay for this. We can support that. We can do this, and seeing what they're putting into the product, like whether it be their stream or their YouTube channel or whatever you're supporting, I think that helps me not think about what their personal lives are.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you're investing, and this is where my dollars are going. Like when you're putting money into like Valorant or a game that you're paying a subscription for, or whatever the game, whatever it is, you're like, where's that money going? I want to know if that's helping microtransactions or if that's helping the actual game. Balancing mechanics or whatever. Like, I feel like it's that sort of mentality that it helps create. I think that's a good.
Well,
I like that.
If I were to see, like, what is their thing called? Kind of Funny, right? That was their. So if I were to see like $5,000 a month going to them, and like there is no like anything, I'd be like, man, these guys are like making bank, and they're not like what
content. I don't want
exactly.
Yeah.
Like they're already getting enough. But then when they break it down, they're like, hey, this percentage goes to this. This percentage goes to this.
And if we get this point, we can start like doing new shows, and we can do new studio. Yeah, I'm like.
And that shows that, like, even though they're making that much, like, they could still make more to continue better production, and not necessarily means that they just want more for any purpose. Like, they're saying, like, hey, this is a lot, but, like, we can get better if you guys want to provide more.
I mean, Jang, you've done this where it's like, okay, people supporting you, like, you're not advertising it, but when they do, you're like, I can now get an emote. I can add a new thing. And I'm like, okay, I know where the support is going. Like, I think those measures are good sorts of things to like know about. It's like, I don't need to know like, oh, you made X amount. I just need to know like, if you get enough following, this is what we all get as a community.
This is the streamer, and he hasn't given us an answer yet.
I'm very transparent when people ask me. I mean, I always say like, oh, I got paid YouTube. If it got to a point where there's like a threshold, I don't know, if I made maybe 20,000 a year doing it, I probably wouldn't say. But anything less than that, I would. I'm very transparent with. People always ask me how much money do you make on YouTube, and I tell
You say
them.
not much.
Yeah, it's like $30 a month. not that much.
I know, like, it's funny, like, once the numbers get huge, it is a lot of money, but, like, if it's not a lot, you're if anything, you're in the negatives.
I think maybe, and this could be just me theorizing, but if I can make a full-time living off of it, I think that's when I would start not being as transparent. If it's a side thing, I'm like,
If I can make a living, but like what a normal job, like, you know, say between $50,000 to $80,000, I think I would be okay being transparent with that.
I mean, that depends on also where you're living
Yeah, but like,
and how you're living.
I with either of those two type, like with that range, I wouldn't live like outlandish.
I know.
Extravagantly.
Yeah.
So I would be comfortable with that. I'd be like, hey, this is enough for me to provide like the equipment that I have and you know, provide the house that I went at. He's like, but it's not like I can't, you know, go out and just buy a brand new car whenever I want, obviously, because this is also not. I would be very open and be like, this isn't, this money isn't guaranteed to me. Like one day you can all just stop watching me and I'm fucked. Like I can't make promises to myself and go buy a mansion and think to myself I can continue to afford this as long as I do this, because at some point all this can go away from me. You know, like it's not. But then once I start,
not in your control, it could be like game stops and like no one wants to watch.
But once I start making like over that amount where I can live that same life but save a shit ton of money, that's where like I would be. I'd feel safe, because if it goes away, I'd have like that huge savings, and so that like I would start kind of like dialing down. I wouldn't.
This is towards more streamers. It seems like streamers who make a lot work a lot. Like they don't have days off. Like girlfriend reviews, they don't have days off. They haven't had a day off yet. So like they're just always working. And but, I mean, they do enjoy. I think they do enjoy what they do. But
There's a lot of satisfaction, but I think it gets abused. You're right. It's like there's an expectation to do. Like I've seen a lot of gamers that are like, I'm the hardcore of this genre or this game. Be like, we're doing a 12-hour stream today, guys. I'm like, that's your 8th one.
I know.
Well, like brought to you by G Fuel.
So
And I'm like, dude, this isn't sustainable. But if it like, I don't know, like I feel like boundaries for yourself as well as for your community, because like if you don't set, like people can hustle at work too, like at a day job.
Yeah.
And you can put 12 hours in, but like, is it unhealthy? Can it lead to problems?
Wasn't Moon now doing something like that?
I don't know.
I think so. I saw an article.
Who was it? Yeah, someone was pulling like double shifts essentially in streaming. He would do morning streams.
CDN the
and
third was doing some crazy hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, I mean, I don't know. I don't remember if it was Moo Moo specifically, but now he just has a one-time schedule because he's built that like
And
that
then
following.
this is again that expectation. It's like, what do you mean you're going on vacation? I paid to have you entertain me on this channel, and it's like you gotta set those boundaries, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
But anyway, I think that's an interesting thing. The psychology of all that, you know, crazy stuff.
We've made $0 so far on this podcast.
Have we? Yeah.
Well, if we make money, you keep it because you haven't.
I know. we're making negative because we're putting money into it.
We're paying for SoundCloud.
We need that sponsorship. Postmates.
Instacart. My topic. Let's get with the youths of our generation. So I put together a little game.
I would like to think I'm very up to date due to my chat, but we'll see. We'll find out.
So the game is, and I'm gonna Google these as I ask them to you guys. I just want to hear your guys' definitions and usages. So how about this? I'll ask one of you a definition, and I'll ask the other one a sentence to go. But it's like slang of the current generation. Like, so let's start with this one. Jang, thirsty. What does thirsty mean?
It's when someone is horny.
I'm thirsty.
So I watch anime.
I watch DxD.
Yeah, I think the definition I saw commonly was horny or eager, and it's usually used in a horny kind of sense. What's the term stan?
When I'm for something like a cause or like I agree with this kind of generic thing, statement, person.
hardcore fan, yeah. Like
So, like-
loyalty.
So you'd be like, you're a Slay the Spire stan?
BTS stan.
Back to
An
the street.
overzealous or obsessive fan of a particular thing. So it's like intense fandom or loyalty. What's a flex?
Oh, easy. That sponsorship.
the Supreme sponsorship.
The flaunt.
The flaunting.
Slight flex.
I think we can get 100% of these. Dude. Ooh, flex.
Well, shade.
That's when you like it's hard to I don't know how to explain like a rebuttal, like a throwback, or like when you just like a burn or whatever. I don't know how to explain it. Like you throw shade. You fucking this is a burn. A diss.
Yeah.
A
It's like
diss.
throwing,
There you go.
it's throwing.
I was trying to get the word.
What does it mean? What does lit mean?
A fire.
Like, it's hype. It's
What does hype mean?
It's fucking.
That's another one. Yeah, wasn't it?
It's 100.
It's a 100.
Okay, Marcus, what does pog mean?
Play of the game. No, it's pog is just like a term saying like I think it does derive from play of the game, but it's usually like oh shit, like that's like that's the moment, like that's the saying, like that's like if someone does something cool, like oh that's pog, like that's like
Can you do the emote?
I don't even know what the meme is. But like that's like that moment, like oh that moment's pog. Like if someone like dodged something, like
Poggers.
oh pog, or if someone like said something, like if someone gave shade and it was like a really good one, like oh that's pog. Like that's a play of the game essentially.
Or Valorant anti-pog me.
But it's dwindled down from saying play of the game to pog, which now it's generalized for like any moment, which is funny.
Okay.
Was that like an agreeable one, or are you gonna give us the actual?
No.
Okay.
It was around that. Yeah. Oh, here's one that's new. What's a simp?
Oh, that's
It's
easy.
like a dude that is like head over heels of a girl, so he'll do anything. Like the simping.
Does it say specifically for a girl? Can it be for any?
It says someone who will say anything to please someone, particularly a girl, in the
Particularly,
hopes
okay.
Yeah.
that there will be good in that person.
Because I'd simp for Keanu Reeves, dude.
I simp for Belle Delphine.
I'd simp for DXT, dude.
Oh, this is one that I need. It was like a. Let me find the definition before. Okay.
Okay.
POS. This is already a term, but it's new
It's a
meaning.
new one.
Holy shit.
And I've never heard this.
Yeah,
This is
I know
for
the
like
old-
young crowds. What's
I
the
know
old
the-
one?
Piece of shit.
Yeah.
that's the old one.
Yeah.
Is
the
that
new one is for kids, specifically for kids.
Wow.
player on
I don't know
sour
how
cream?
come. This is like one site mentioning it. Parent over shoulder.
Oh, I've heard it
It's
in
like,
that sense.
Watch out, like POS.
I've heard it in that sense, but yeah, it's not. I haven't seen it common enough to like get it that way.
This is an easy one. Netflix and chill.
Sex.
No Netflix.
Usually Netflix is not involved whatsoever.
Shook.
Scared or like a shock value. Shock.
It's usually a reaction to something like, oh, that got me shook. Like, especially after watching.
But it's not necessarily a negative thing. Like it could be someone like got scared, like oh I'm shook. But someone could be like, it could be like a really cool moment, like oh shit I'm shook. Like
Yeah.
So the definition used is being affected or shaken emotionally or methodically.
shock value.
What does it mean to be for something to be straight fire?
Dope.
It's the same like lit. Yeah, it's like
My Valorant plays.
I'm gonna ask Jang this
My
one.
Valorant
straight
plays.
trash.
Trash can emoji.
Okay, slay. Jang.
Slay the spire.
Destroy. Or, yeah, destroy. Slay the spire.
Because it destroys you.
What does it mean when someone says I'm dead?
Again, like I don't know how to explain it. Like it's when
It's a
someone
reaction.
it's a reaction to like when it's like something funny, I guess.
Yeah.
Is like
No,
the
you're right.
basic thing I can go.
People are saying like when you laugh so hard, you're like, I'm dead.
Yeah, like laugh like it started with LMFAO,
And it's spelled DED.
laughing on the
Alright.
floor or
What,
rolling.
what does it mean when someone says low key?
Down low, like it's just like
Yeah, like
it's usually like a reaction to like, damn, I low key kind of like that. Like,
yeah, but it's like weird. Like I know it's like down low, like hey, but like I don't think it's necessarily used that way. It's like low key, like hey, I'm not gonna display this kind of emotion,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like
yeah,
I really like that person,
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like low key, like
how
Or-
Vargas feels about Limp Bizkit. He low key likes him, but
I mean low key, I don't like Valorant. Valorant can't.
low key doesn't like World of Warcraft.
So what does it mean when someone says no cap or inversely says cap?
No lie.
No cap
For
is
which
like
one?
No cap is no lying.
So cap is lying. It's deceit. It's
cap is
Yeah.
like yeah, but it's cap is like blunt, like just 100 like
Like caps lock. Like I'm being truthful and
yes.
I don't know.
So wait,
No cap is no lying, and cap is being like very straightforward. No.
no, wait.
I don't know what-
you're saying. The same thing twice. You're saying one's being straightforward and one's being no lying. That
Cap
means-
is
But like
emphasis.
blunt, I guess.
no
not
cap
stra-
means for real.
Yeah.
No lie. Cap means like
the opposite.
BS.
Oh, okay.
Like lie.
Yeah.
I didn't know the cap one. I normally just people are like no cap. I've never heard cap.
I've never heard. Yeah, I've always heard. That's why it lists
Yeah.
no cap. But I saw like saying, but this is one I've never heard of. Finsta.
Isn't it like, wait,
I know Finna is like I'm willing to. So like, Finsta is like someone who's willing to try.
I'll give you a hint.
fake gangster?
You're, I guess, you're getting warmer, but
So
really
non-thick.
No. Think along the lines of Jang has his mainstream, but he has a Finsta where he wants to like mess
Side-
around with whatever stream.
Side hustle.
Fake account?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like it's saying in the terms of parents, like when a kid has their main social media,
These
they
goddamn
have their
kids
hidden social
are
media.
starting to make
only.
all this fucking shit now.
Finsta.
I'm never gonna use that.
Snatched.
Doesn't sound taking, stealing. I snatched that. Has it changed in vocabulary?
According to these.
Snatched.
So
I feel like this is
the sentence.
I
I'll
feel
give
like
you the
hold on.
sentence.
I feel like this is another one that's not used on a stream chat, but
No,
this is
not
more
all
the
these are streamed.
the
This is just
teenager
like-
or the youngsters type.
It's a
Yeah,
mix
those
of
ones
all.
I don't fucking I won't
That's why
know.
I'm like, I wanted to read about.
Okay, okay.
I know some of the street.
We sound so fucking old right now. God damn it! I hate you.
Mark's gonna
no
come
cap.
back
No
to his little
cap.
sisters. Yo, what's up,
No
Finsta?
cap. Low key.
You're that Steve Buscemi.
Low key. I hate this.
You're like, what's up, my fellow kids?
What's up, Finstas?
Using all these things that are wrong.
Snatched is like when you compliment something. It's like, I love those sneakers. Those are so snatched.
Oh, I know. I don't know.
Yeah,
that.
that's not even
Okay, what does it mean if someone's extra?
overly anything emotional or
Too
fucking
much?
too much.
Okay. Kappa.
It's like a sarcastic thing, right? Sarcasm. I always think of it as sarcasm.
Yeah.
I've heard the way it's under. I understand
Like-
it, and it's
like
shared.
usually-
you end something and say Kappa.
Yeah, like usually they say, "Oh, the last bosses isn't really good at Valorant, Kappa," but I'm really good. Yeah. Anti-trash.
What is it? What does it mean when someone says ratchet?
It's like
Very
dirty or like
Yeah.
scandalous.
yeah, scandalous / dirty. That's a good one.
Sort of. Yeah. It's like yeah. Yeah.
Just read it. Okay, it's fine if it's not in the
No, I'm
thing.
pulling up the. Yeah, it's referring to like someone who's not like who's like ghetto or
Bootylicious.
slaps.
It hits hard. Like it hits
slaps.
a certain way. Like, yeah. Usually like songs. That shit. Limp Bizkit songs slap.
Hey, the new Billie Eilish song that just came out today slaps.
Oof.
when something bad happens.
Big oofs in the chat.
That's funny. That's a word in Farsi.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's like when when you're talking to a baby and you're like, "Oh, do you have a boo boo?" The boo you don't say.
Boo boo.
It's not hurt. It's like, "Oh, boo boo." So like whenever I hear it now, like everyone's talking like baby Persian.
Boo boo.
I think that's it.
Well, we missed one, I think.
What?
Missed two.
Finsta.
Finsta and Snatch,
Oh yeah, Finsta and Snatch.
which is the dumbest things I've ever heard.
No cap.
The thing is, like, I don't know if this is just for me, like
What's up,
society, like I get used
I
to
feel like
it.
I should be doing this right now. Like
If they're a group of kids, what's up, Finsta?
I don't know if
Fortnite.
a lot of these flow. They feel like they flow very well. Like if I'm saying it, like it kind of for me, it makes sense. But Finsta doesn't like in a sentence, like it just doesn't flow well. It sounds like it's an out of place word. And then Snatch, probably only because I've known it as like
I don't know if you remember in The Last of Us 2, Abby and Lev, where she's like, "That's cool," and Lev's like, "What's cool?" Oh, it's like really, really like, oh, it was good.
And
it
then
was,
starts using
and then there's a scene where it's like, "Oh, that was cold," and she's like,
She's like, that's not how you use that.
But yeah, the Finsta one it doesn't flow well. It's not a good verb or a good word.
Snatch too. Snatch the movie.
Yeah, a lot of these sound weird to me. But, times are changing.
I mean, there's one I could think of. Do you know what Beepis is?
Beepis?
B-E-P-I-S?
Big penis.
Pretty much. Learned that from chat. Thank you.
You know what headache is?
Me?
I think this was something from Ninja. People wouldn't say the full phrase because they knew what it meant.
Ligma?
They'd say ligma
Oh, yeah.
or sugma.
Sigma was a derivative off of that, but I don't know. I don't even know how the fuck that happened. I literally don't know where the fuck Ligma came from.
Ninja.
Or Candace? Candace is really mad at you. Candy's nuts fit in your mouth. Like fucking CD in the
Dude, CD Hunter had a shit ton of those. Holy fuck. Maybe he's the one who created it. Because they did stream one time and he got everyone, I think, in that stream.
I feel like the slang I can't keep up as much with, but I've done a better job about meme meaning. Like there's an understanding to like when you use this meme, you're trying to convey something.
Like the oh shit
Or like the Pepe thing or whatever.
POS.
Or, yeah. Or various other things. I'm like, I know more of those and I can keep up with them, but like when it comes to some, like all of a sudden I'm hearing John Oliver say like that slaps, and I'm like,
what?
what? And then everyone just starts using it. Like I'm hearing podcasts and they're like, dude, this game slaps so hard. I'm like, how does where
100.
Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy.
Was that was yours, right?
That was my topic.
Jamie, bring up slang terms that kids use.
So now our hip new followers can follow along.
What's up, Finsta?
Now you hit new followers.
What's up, Finstas?
You can use these on your streams.
I hate that word. I hate that word.
You should ask your sister, like, hey, do you have a Finsta? She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Guys, where can people find you?
They can find me at the Fulio365 on Instagram and then just the Fulio everywhere else.
At the last bosses everywhere.
Find me at Creature Prime. You can find us all at the Weekly DLC. And until
Sucking on
next
boba.
time, Sucking on the boba. Still no boba, baby.
I'm disappointed in you.
Spray control. Burst.
Little sucks.
Burst. Headshots burst.
Until next time, Will.
DLC.
You later.